How's it going, guys? My name is Matt, this is my beard, and welcome to today's video. So, today's video started last night. Now, for me, but when this is posted, it's last night. Basically, it's 11 o'clock at night. I have spent my evening just binge watching random rubbish on YouTube and also painting the arvus lighter. So I've been doing all of the grey bits. Now you can see that there is a definitive difference between one of the wings and the rest of the model. That's because I've done the non-oil step on that wing. I wanted to see what it looked like, and I'm pretty happy with how it's turned out. So, plan of attack. Tonight I'm going to finish the last little bits of grey. I've pretty much done all of the model, but I'm just looking and there's one or two little spots that I need to recover. After that, tomorrow, I'm going to start on the detail work. Now, working in sections has really worked well, because that wing that I've already done, I'm going to start on the lens for that. I might actually do that tonight, if I'm honest with you, because then I can sort of have that wing kind of done. So I think I might start on the lens, move my way back on the actual wing itself, see what I can get done, and then I'm going to start on the actual body of the lighter itself. So there we go. Outside of that, pretty happy with progress on it. It'll be nice to get it off the desk. That's the whole point of what we're doing. We're getting stuff off the desk. So just to kind of go through what I've got on the desk, I tell you what, I'm just going to grab it out and let's have a look. So this is the desk. So far, we have a sanctioner pattern automator. We have two of the NPCs that I'm looking to do for Necromunda. They are two hybrid Gene Stealer cultist type dudes from 40k. We've also got Ozyranthus and his teeny tiny little Cherub of Despair. We have Metal Doggo, which obviously you guys know as the Scrutineer's Cyber Mastiff. Now, I keep on forgetting this guy's name, but it's the big Nurgle guy from... to be fair, I might actually rebase code this guy because he's horrendous. But yeah, he's the 40k Nurgle guy. He has the massive broadsword on his back, but obviously I don't have that on, so I can paint the robe. But yeah, I've then got the new hangers-on kit, or set, rather. And finally, I have these two. Now, I'm not sure whether I'm going to get into this guy. I might shelve him for a while because I'm not too happy with his skin. I want to do better, and I don't think that the skin I've done here is good enough, and I don't want to put too much time into him just now. I want to sit down and actually work it out properly. But then finally, there's this guy. So, if you know who this guy is, drop a comment down below and let me know if you know. Because I'm curious to see who remembers such a wonderful, wonderful guy. But anyway, that's the kit, that's the setup, that's everybody. There's a couple of bits left on the table, but they're probably going to get shelved. One of them's a repair, so this is the wet nurse. Oh, that wasn't meant to happen. This is the wet nurse, which is from Kingdom Death. It's a very old model that I painted a long time ago, but I need to glue her head back on because she suffered an incident. But yeah, so that's the backlog of stuff. So you can pretty much see where I'm at with things on the table. Now I do have a Stonecrusher Carnifex, but I don't want to put him in with the rest of the Tyranids because he is quite an expensive model. I bought him for quite a hefty price, so I'm going to keep him separate. And I'm probably going to paint him separately to the rest of the Tyranids because I want to make sure that I'm transporting him right, because the stone ball, that wrecking ball type thing. I'll bring him over so you can see. But that wrecking ball, that's just all one piece. And if that cracks or breaks, I'll be very sad. But yeah, this is the Stonecrusher Carnifex, so I'm going to paint him up separately. And there we go. So outside of that, that's pretty much everything for the desk. So I think we're going to get back to the arvus lighter. I'm going to continue on doing some detail work and getting the engine sorted out, and then I can start actually trying to plot out Nolan oil and all that sort of stuff. But so far, I'm liking how it's going. So yeah, let's jump into it. Or we could just go to the studio for a little bit first. So I've popped over to see Chris, and we've been playing around with the airbrush, and that's been a bit of fun. And I'm now going to go back to mine and do some more on the arvus lighter. However, I do have something cool to show you. So I have never, well, I say never. So I've got a decent airbrush setup, really good airbrush setup. However, as you saw when I was doing my Dark Angels stuff, I had some form of aversion to actual success when it came to it. However, with the careful and patient guidance of our good friend Chris, I've managed to come up with this. So this is just an orc bust that I got for October. And I've done like it's basically like it's a green and a purple, then that's gone into a light green, like a luminous green, on like a very high edge, and then a very dark pink, like fluorescent pink, very much underside of things. So it's like it dominates. And my words aren't coming out today. It replicates like OSL. So overall, I'm really happy with that, and now I want to play around with my airbrush. So there we go. But anyway, right, I'm going to go home. I've got an arvus lighter that I want to get some more work done on, and I'm also very hungry, so I'm going to get myself some pasta. Anyway, right, let's go home. And we're back. We're back. Right, so I think it's now time to play with some Nolan oil. So arvus lighter is currently in this state here. I've done this wing in Nolan oil, but I need to do the rest. Now, there's quite a lot, so I'm going to go through quite a lot of Nolan oil, but we'll see how it all looks, and then after the fact I can start weathering up, and I can also start detailing down, so it'll be pretty good. And then we can start on the engines, and yeah, it's going to be good. Right, I'm going to crack on. So, arvus lighter has now been Nolan oiled. It's kind of looking alright. Again, this is just a work in progress. I'm kind of happy that it's blotchy. That's quite a good thing. But I think overall it's just going to be a work in progress. But I think I'm going to leave it here for this video, and I'm going to come back to this tomorrow with you guys, showing you pretty much getting it done. Tomorrow it's going to get finished. That's the plan. Tomorrow it gets finished. So there we go. Right. I think on that note, I'm going to get myself going. I think just looking back at it today, there has actually been a really big sort of positive mental sort of thing for me. A really positive mental health thing for me, which is that my airbrush sort of ability, it's just a case of learning the correct sort of process. And I think that's the thing that I've been missing when I've been looking into it on YouTube and all that sort of stuff. There's things that aren't said, like I was spending absolutely ages washing through my, dismantling my brush and then putting it back together, and doing all this cleaning step in between paints and stuff. Where in actual fact, that's just a massive waste of time. Like you flush it through, obviously, like in between each paint change or paint sort of fill up, you flush it through. Make sure you get a bit of backwash in there, and then flush it through again, and then you just continue on. And then at the end, that's when you do your breakdown, and you make sure that you've cleaned all the bits and all that sort of thing. And another thing was like the technique as well. So what Chris was showing me was he would be letting the air through. So he would depress the trigger to allow air to go through, and then he would gradually pull back, allowing the air to flow through. And as the air was flowing through, you would do like a test swatch first. So just kind of like just blast a bit onto like a bit of paper or whatever, just so it was just ever so gradual. Because I think in my mind's eye, I was anticipating there to be like an immediate sort of, right, this thing's green now, and that's not the case at all. It's like a gradual build up, and that's the bit that I was missing, I think. So my anticipation was, right, okay, well, I pulled the trigger and there's the paint, similar to what you would use like in a rattle can. So I think it's like it's very much a skill issue. And today kind of proved that, and now I'm feeling a bit like an idiot because like it's such a simple fix, but I think it took somebody else to be there showing me, and that's something that I've been kind of saying all along. Like, I learn better when somebody sat there or stood there talking to me, walking me through something. So I think tomorrow I'm gonna finish off the arvus lighter, get that done, and I might play around with the airbrush. I think it's time that I properly try to dial that in, because that's like a skill in itself. I mean, I'll show you now. It'll be somewhere on screen probably. In fact, I'll move. There we go. See, that's good editing. See, it's just there. Look how good does that look. Anyway, right. Yeah, it looks good what I did, and it was like a green to pink transition. So I started on a very high pink, a very high green, and then I moved. Sorry, I did just a moose green style on one side and a pink on the other. And then I did a fluorescent green highlight and like fluorescent pink highlight from like the deepest parts and the highest parts. And that made this beautiful sort of transition, and it's really kind of sparked joy, if I'm honest with you. So it's good. But there we go. Anyway, right, that's enough of my rambling. I'm going to go. Arvus Light's going to get done tomorrow. I'm going to finish it tomorrow. Tomorrow's the deadline. Doing it tomorrow. And there we go. Right. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Enjoy your Sundays. Sunday preview came out. It's all the Maggotkin and bloody Glotkin and Nurgle's finest. So that's going to be a bit of fun, because I do like myself some Nurgle. I might have a little look and see if there's anything I do fancy picking up. I'm not going to be getting loads. Like, one of my things that I'm doing going into the new year is not buying as much, because I don't need as much at the moment. I've got quite a big backlog of stuff, and I want to kind of crack on with that. So yeah, there we go. Right, anyway, that's it from me. Thank you very much for watching, guys. See you guys tomorrow, and peace.